spike sites to be playing with. Meanwhile, on the side of Savants, they are locking in that Killjoy, my personal favorite on this map, just because she has so much information and control that she can do. Both sides rocking that Astra and that Sova and that Jet. Pretty standard stuff. We've seen it before. It's almost the same lineup that we've already seen them play prior. Staff rocked on that Reyna, gonna keep wearing that crown as all around Savants, they're starting on defense here, and we're already seeing, like, yeah, that's going to be a typical Killjoy with that turret holding down A and B site at the same time as UYU, their aggressive play style, not really going to be seen at the start of the round here as they're going to spread themselves out a bit, maybe hoping for a pick, but it is Steph, first blood drawn, playing very aggressive with the rest of his team. They're already pushing through. And that is going to be a bloodbath on the side of the spawn side of the attackers. Pugs, what the heck?
It's the Steph show continuing once again here. Vegeta gets a dink and finishes off Steph, but Waltz is there for a trade. Low HP on Darkest, unable to finish the job. Only one onto Hune. Waltz again getting the kill, and all around Savants back to back to back pistol rounds for them. And UYU will have to force up. Darkest flexing off of that Phoenix onto the Sky, and I really love Sky. I think Sky's a fantastic agent. My favorite to play personally, and on Haven can be used a lot like a duelist with those flashes. A lot of information to be gained by the Sky as well. Soup, though, swapping off the Killjoy, I think that's a bit of an interesting decision. Otherwise, both teams just about the same lineups that we saw. Let's see that Sky, though, going forward. Eco round here for UYU.
Yeah, that has to be a bit of a frazzle here. I mean, we're seeing, again, look at the aggressive push for Savants as they're trying to look at that flank. But Soup here with that Cypher ready to play, but has to deal with those SMGs and will fall. Rest of his team kind of stuck in garage here, knowing that there's Killjoy utility. And honestly, the rest of the team of Savants already postured. They know where they are.
Oh yeah, they do. It's just a matter of time now before all around Savants collapse here. Map pick of UYU. All around Savants taking their own. But a nice little fade away from UYU. Going to try and get some damage done at the very least. The B side relatively open, but the flank can come quickly here. Hijinks has Steph here to back up out towards A, but they're going to go around everything. Tyler's going to get the information on the spike going in towards C. No! Tyler doesn't check the garage tunnel! That could be a big oversight. Tyler's caught off guard. And now Unholy can make something happen. Hijinks has finished off Darkest. Waltz is right there for Unholy's trade. But my Authority right click gets the dink, but not the final damage. And now it's all down to Prince Vegeta. Looking to end up defeated once again, much like the Prince of All Saiyans.
A little nice DBZ play here, and there you go, Vegeta to fall, not over 9,000 this time around. Honestly, that first round, kind of circling back to how aggressive Savant played that, and they kind of did a repeat there with Steph and Hijinks pushing through sewers the way they did and then setting up a crossfire. They're really setting the tone and the pace of this game here, saying, we can play just as aggressive as you guys have been on the last map. And honestly, this time, with how big and all of the sites available that they have to hold and control, getting that aggression and being able to control an area that is typically supposed to be on the side of UYU that they get to play with, as Darkest, though, jumps out of that window, finds himself, and punishes that aggression that I was just talking about. And that's the answer to that, is you shut that down and kill them so that they no longer want to do it.
Darkest.
Triple kill for him.
That Sky Initiator acting as a duelist, it's so powerful. That's what I love about Sky so much on this map of Haven. Those 3 entries basically won the round for them right now. All around Savants only losing 1 player. That is huge in terms of economy in the early going. But then again, it was the bonus round for all around Savants, so they're not necessarily expected to win that round. If it is quite literally a bonus. It's like, all right, cool. We're not expecting that, but I will take that any day of the week. Here's where the real test happens. The first gun round of this game, of this map. 5 Phantoms for the Savants versus 2 for UYU.
Yeah, and we've seen Savants making those adjustments again, spreading their Killjoy utility both on B site as well as C, as they're not necessarily deterred by it, but with that cage and some of that utility being thrown by UYU over on A site has slowed down that attempt of a push here, as they're gonna play it a little more carefully. It's Vegeta that gets punished across the other side of the map by Hyun as he tries to push his way into C. That gets shut down very fast.
Yes, indeed. That was a very quick shutdown there, and all around Savants now having to deal with some Seekers as UYU are going to rotate around, try and find a gap in the defense. Haven does have quite a few gaps given the large nature of it and 3 objective zones, but Unholy has dropped Walt, and now Darkest is going to come through. Unholy taken down by Hyun, and so is Darkest last round of the chamber. Gun swap 2, here comes Hyun. It's my authority to fall to Tyler, and Soup. Why are you so far alone? You haven't got the spike. You're just chilling outside A. This is, I'm questioning this recipe of the round.
They got spread out. It's a little bit different than what we've seen UYU play so far, where they're usually like either doing a 4-1 split or all 5 pushing together onto a site. And again, this kind of just circles back to how Savants has been playing it. Like, yeah, the last round didn't really work out for them, but that's the tone of the game that they want to play here, is that, yeah, we're on the defense. It doesn't matter. We're playing this pretty aggressive, sitting on the borders of the sites that we're controlling. So that's a lot of utility already expended by UYU to start when you're on the attacker side, when typically you want the defenders to be the one expending all of that utility. And that early pickoff taking, on C side, as well as Hyun just popping off, making that the Hyun show over there. They just do not want to commit anymore, and they're dropping. It has to be a little bit frazzled and questioning as far as how do you want to play this moving forward? What adjustments can you make if you're UYU? And maybe they're going to finally do what they've found success in prior games. We're seeing a 4-1 split here.
I like the A split idea, but look at this aggression from all around Savants. They are continuing to force the issue, and Steph again has been so deadly, continues that reign of terror on the arena, holding on to that crown and continuing to bully UYU. Hijinks is still going to stick around too, backed up by Steph. The Owl drone may reveal Hijinks' position, but no. It's just Steph instead who's spotted. They will not expect this jet here, surely, as they're going to continue to try and force their way in through A main. Either go through short or over towards A long. Vegeta's not going to watch the angles. 1 and 2 for Hijinks. Spike is down outside A. My authority has some information and control of B, but it doesn't matter when you lack the objective. And UYU, they are reeling here. It's a fast and strong defense from all around Savants. The best defense is a good offense, it might seem, although Unholy does manage 1 headshot onto Hijinks.
I mean, this is looking very rough for UYU as far as they're not even close to contesting a site. Savants, they were already pushed up A, so they know that they have that pretty much on lockdown. So they're going to try to take it to this site, but you're going to have to deal with Killjoy and Astra utility here. 10 seconds on the clock. You don't have time, so they're just going to opt to save this.
Yeah, they are. They're so spread out, too. It's going to make saving all the more difficult if they do get aggressed upon. I don't think C will be the play of pushing, and maybe my authority is going to stay alive. I said C wouldn't be the push, but Hyun is actually the one to go furthest forward and does get punished for it, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things for all around Savants. Relatively clean round, only losing 2. And they'll have rifles up once again. No operator in their hands just yet, and Saz, UYU are going for a full force here. Spectres on 3, Vandals on 2. They're buying down to brass tacks. They will have nothing left in the bank for this round.
Yeah, this is a desperation buy if I've seen one. They do have Cosmic Divide available to play with, as well as Neural Theft, but that requires finding that kill, right? And I like this movement right now that UYU is doing, making their way onto B, burning through all of that Killjoy utility, because it has to be pointed out, for the most part, Savants have left B site quite open. They do have that Killjoy alarm bot acting like that Sage wall. They hear it, so it gets very frustrated to push through. But I almost feel like that needs to be unlocked here. You need to have mid contested as bodies are dropping. It's still a 3v3 here, and it's looking kind of promising for UYU, maybe. As they say that, caster jinx, it's down to 2.
Yeah, and Steph's one of those players alive for all around Savants. Taken down by a good double swing, though, from UYU. This 2v2 could be a little doable, but the spike still under the control of the Savants. A little bit of damage exchanged back and forth, but no real ground gained for UYU. The price of a mile is high right now, and it doesn't seem to be a price UYU can afford to pay. I say that, it's trades back and forth. Darkest with the opener, and My Authority with the second. UYU finally grab a second round on the board, and all around Savants, they can still buy, but UYU win that force buy. That was a critical round for them to pick up. They could not afford to lose that whatsoever. And now the economy over on all around Savants is in a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a swing round here. Winner of this round could establish a bit more dominance, or, in the case of UYU, have a good chance to tie things up.
Yeah, that was very pivotal, having to force the way that they did, but again, it comes down to finding an essential control point that they can do to force Savant to play a little differently than the way they have been. Because we're seeing, like, look, there's a push again onto A site, trying to see if maybe anybody's there, and after they don't see anybody, that Sova will rotate out and hold down B. But it seems this time around they want to play with the Seekers instead, so they use that to open things up, and they want to commit again to C, but you're gonna have to deal with the lockdown, the Hunter's Fury, and the Cosmic Divide available for Savants to maybe try and delay this out as My Authority. That is Hunter's Fury on both sides. Oh, but it's Vegeta winning all the duels.
All of those duels for Vegeta. The Vandal making work happen. UYU looking strong in this round, but the Blades are out! 1 and 2 for HiJinx! Swings things back to a 3v3. Keeping an eye back for long, but it's really going to be this Cypher on the flank. It's going to be Soup you have to deal with. Soup has Tyler, Neural Theft comes in, but it's all down to Soup, and HiJinx dashes up, glides down, and sends a Blade straight to the face of the Cypher. 5-2. All around Savants. A huge win back, and that's all off of the back of HiJinx and the Blade Storm.
We've talked about this before, how well Savants do on this retake, where, yeah, they'll lose some bodies trying to, hold down side. For the most part, I almost feel like it's just because they get trapped there. They like to reset and fall back. Thanks. And do a retake as a group, and it really has been working out for them, because look at how expensive that spike plant was for UYU. They committed the Hunter's Fury, and they started things off with the Seekers to try and even claim that site. So how do you continue doing that when you don't have those ultimates available to you?
Yeah, they need a little more stability here. You can't just rely on the ultimates to win rounds. And that's something that teams can fall into a bad habit of. Relying too heavily on those very rare, aptly named ultimate abilities. HiJinx, though, going to try and make the Phantom work like the Blades. As a good spot in heaven has not been cleared as the Nebula clears. Steph waiting out for that tripwire. Destroys it. But now they know somebody's coming on the flank, but here comes HiJinx. 1 kill. Vegeta with the Blades, only 1 for 1. Tyler has the answer back. 4v3 on this retake and a tag. Steph will answer with 1 more. Darkest has the Hawk out, but blinds himself. Run into one of the classic. Unholy with the Sheriff. Domes 2. Get out of dodge here now. But Steph is the one on the hunt to try and kick the Sheriff down the road. Steph, though, falls. Thrifty victory. UYU is Unholy on the 3K. And that's a player we have not seen a lot from, aside from that early portion of Ascent. It's good to see Unholy back in full force. That's a big round for UYU to swing back into their favor. Look at this buy from all around Savants now. Marshall, Ares, 3 Phantoms, and a chance for UYU.
It was looking a little bit hairy for UYU because, again, Savants and their retake, but they had that advantage there, and staff could not even connect with those right-click attempts. Has to feel good, but now, they are a bit of a force here on the side of Savants. They do have still those two ultimates that they can play with, and they're definitely adjusting a bit because you see all of these bodies present both in mid and in garage. As that Killjoy is the lone player to hold down A, and Astra holding down C with that little bit of assistance from their Sova as that Tasmanian Tiger Dog going a bit crazy. That's going to be a little bit of a reset on the side of UYU.
They still have so much control out towards garage, and see this split has so much potential. The Marshall will find tag, make somebody a little more squishy. But all in all, UYU are still in very good position to win this round unless Waltz can find a mark. Oh, as I say that.
Nasty. That is huge information pick, knowing that Spike was down. And oh my god, Waltz.
30 seconds left.
Okay, Marshall, scary in his hands. UYU, what is supposed to be a round advantage for them, they are just getting picked off on all sides here because Savants, they're playing it so passive, and timer in favor of them. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. They will get that spike down, but number advantage is in favor of Savants.
Savants, they can get this retake happening. They can get in here. Hijinks making a lot of noise, baiting things out. Killjoy ultimate lockdown has been initiated. Scoop gonna try and push the issue with that Nano Swarm will hold them at bay. Soup finished off by Steph. Of course it would be Steph. And now Darkest on 5 HP. Headshot onto 1, needs 2 more quick domes. But Steph has 3 kills. And all around Savants now have 3 times 2 in terms of the round scoreline. 2 alive for him. But all around Savants, this defense, this almost looks better than what they had on Ascent, and I'm kind of shocked.
Mm-hmm. I have to give a little bit of a chef's kiss to as a Killjoy player to Hyun, dropping that lockdown and then immediately throwing a Nano Swarm after to prevent a point of exit as they try to push through, knowing that they have to push through both garage and long and everywhere else. So that felt really nice, but I can really appreciate it. So now the economy really hurting on the side of UYU, and looks like we're having a little bit of a tech issue here as we get that sorted out first. Again, Savant, they're really showing their strength as far as I won't say abandoning, but giving up a site knowing that they're really strong on that retake. They're not allowing UYU to set up and do those post plants.
Yeah,
and we're back.
It's been a great play on defense from all around Savants as we're witnessing it here again. Losing 1, a lot of damage on 2 more, so My Authority could theoretically have a chance here, but the defuse is going to come through. My Authority will not challenge. 7-3. I was thinking, Ascent was a little hairy for all around Savants. UYU might have a very solid shot on their map pick. They brought it very close. But it seems like Ascent was the better play for UYU, as Haven is proving to be anything but safe for them.
Yeah, at this point, you just gotta hope and pray that your defense side is on absolute, hard lock that Savants cannot push through. But with it's very doable with their current lineup, but it's still gonna be hard if you're coming into this at such a disadvantage of maps.
Kills on kills here for all around Savants again as UYU continue to get bullied and obliterated. They're going to continue to push down towards A2, which could continue to be their undoing. As Steph, 3 HP, looking to find some next victim. 1 and 2, making 3 on the round. Overheal coming in, and Steph grabs 4. Munching up the kills is all around Savants. Move to a potential 9-3 half. This is an incredible turnaround for them. Also, Steph has 16 kills already. How is Steph allowed to do this, Sedge? I don't understand.
I mean, sometimes you just pop off, right? Feast or famine is the Reina, and guess what? Steph is feasting right now on the bodies of UYU, and if that carries over to the next, like, you know, once they switch over to the half, where Reina on attack, that's that's a lot scary.
Oh, yeah. Especially the aggressive playstyle Steph's been taking on this defensive side of things. Transfer that to the offense. Man, that's going to be one deadly Reina to deal with. Definitely booming instead of the bust. Vegeta getting tagged down too is going to have to rotate away, and the bulk of UYU's moving their way towards the A site. Only one defender here, that is going to be Hyun. Owl drone to clear things out, but it expires well before Unholy could get caught out here. Noise has been made, but the headshots landed so much damage, but not the kill for Hyun. Unfortunate for the Killjoy, but a window of opportunity arises now for all around Savants. Cosmic Divide, though, to make things possible for UYU, using the rest of their ultimates here. There's a Cosmic Divide for all around Savants as well. I don't think they'll necessarily use it as Waltz awaits in heaven. Nebula falls. It's Waltz's time to shine. The one spot not blocked out by the net by the Cosmic Divide. Waltz getting down some stars. Hunter's Fury activated though. My Authority has a tag. Not quite a frag just yet. Vegeta Goomba stomped by Waltz. And this is where that Cosmic Divide can come back to bite you. Through goes Waltz. The shock dart reveals positioning. Soup has to push in. Steph has one. Waltz gets the hat trick. And all around Savants living up to their name here on this Haven defense.
That was, again, if they wrote a book on a map retake, every time and time again, counter Cosmic Divide used to block out My Authority trying to play with his utility as the Sova on the backside, and just timing it once they know that everybody on their on their team that they had available ready to push through. You push through all at the same time. So I'm sorry, you can't watch every angle as that Savant is pushing in, and they get punished for it so hard. Even playing against the utility usage that they had. Shock dart in your hand, guess what? I'm just gonna push through this wall and kill your face. And that's what has been happening so far. And now its sides are switched, and UYU, I'm curious to see how they adjust for this.
We'll have to see what they want to do here. Steph is sitting on a 4.25 KD right now. Been a huge part of the successes for all around Savants. Good flashbang, but the shock darts are perfectly placed by Tyler. I think Darkus got speared by that dart. And Soup finished off by Hijinks running around. Steph headshot onto Unholy. There was a nano swarm there too, which would have finished the job surely onto the Astra if Steph had not completed that headshot. But Spike is down. My Authority and Prince Vegeta out of this round unless they can land some huge shots and quickly. Vegeta going to be the first to push forward. Turret will spot and reveal the location of one. My Authority unable to find anything for free either. Out goes the shock dart, but Waltz has Vegeta's number. And Steph will finish the job onto My Authority. That KD now up to 4.75.
There was an attempt. There was an attempt to play with aggressive down C Soup, trying to open things up, maybe putting, trying to put that Cypher Cam so deep in there, making sure that nobody and their mother is going to push through. But you had all 5 of Savants already playing there. They take that camera out, and that puts a little bit of chill in their bones. Has to fall back. Even with the Skybirds, and you see 3 players flash sitting in the cubby, the rest of the team still rotating over from the other side. Not enough time, and they just got overwhelmed very hard. And it looks like this is another attempt at that, as Steph double leer push through. Shock darts as well, knowing where Darkus is sitting, already at 23 HP. Can't even use the birds to slow things down. Soup now trapped there.
Well, there's another one for Steph. I will say Darkus did learn from the last round moving out of that corner, but Steph now has 21 kills, continuing an absolute terror of a map of Haven. Soup on 3, stuck in garage, needs to go to the mechanics now, but can't get fixed up. No Sage, no Sky alive. And Steph has a third now. Soup has fallen. My Authority has the low HP player to deal with first. Gets a consolation frag, but at this point, is it even worth a small consolation? 11-3 is the score.
Yeah, Savants have run away with this game because even that pincher move that UYU tried to do to catch them on rotation, they just got mowed down by those SMGs, and that's the struggle and disadvantage, right? When you're pistol versus those SMGs in such close quarters. They could not do anything. They had armor, they had the better guns, and they could not buy a kill to save them a round. And that's a great opening pick, though. Steph, raid boss removed to start. It is a trade, but has to feel good.
Oh, there's Hijinks for that next one in line, and look at the HP on the Sova. It is quite low. Soup dealing a little bit of damage here, but all around Savants in this 3v3. They have some map control to work with. Hijinks trying to get rid of that tripwire, finally does manage it. And Soup has been revealed, tagged by the Owl. Nice camera there, though. We'll reveal all the information, and Vegeta, hot on the tail of Taylor, gets that opener. 3v2 now in the favor of UYU. They have the health favoring them in heavy fashion. Hune, this could be the play that wins the round, though. Hijinks might be able to manage one, but Hune winning that duel relatively clean has now started something which could create an avalanche of a round for all around Savants. Hijinks still around the side, swinging in, gets the dink. Hune has the trade, and it's all down to Soup. Hune dives back, and I think there might be a swarm of some sort on the spike. No chance for Soup just yet. No idea where Hune is!
Oh.
Look at that headshot, though, from Soup. That is poise.
For having the gun advantage, I expect UYU to win this. So that was really, really good that they did, but at what cost? It was so expensive for them. Look at this buy, knowing that Savants, they were on their bonus. They played aggressive, they played it good, and now they have rifles in hand as they barrel through against the 2 light armor and 2 SMGs in the hands of UYU, spread out the way that they would be on a 3-site map that is Haven.
What is the answer for UYU, though? I feel like they're losing aim duels. I feel like they're getting bullied around the map, and it doesn't matter if they have the weapon advantage or not. They do not have much opportunities. They're going to get a lot of aggression out towards A-Long in the form of Vegeta, though, trying to catch somebody off guard. But there's an alarm bot just outside. Vegeta might catch an unwilling victim, though, around the cloudburst. Steph is fallen. And that's a good opener. If all the players to kill, Steph would be the one hot on my list.
Absolutely. And I mean, look at how slowed down whatever aggression Savants had with that opening kill. They're all now keeping an eye. They're all now trying to figure out, where did you go? But they need to be able to reset for this. This is not a one-man show, and Steph being dead should not be the decider here. Because technically, even with that one-man disadvantage, this is a site, or this is a map that typically would favor, as we say that, Hijinks with a wall spam, Hunter's Fury by My Authority trying to slow down any push onto C site, but no, Savant, they're already there. They're looking to get that spike down, and bodies are dropping. Bugs!
What is
What
going
happened?
on? Walt is holding mouse one, spraying blood, and transfers that. Vegeta's caught out by Tyler. My Authority, the last alive, wrapped up with a nice little bow. And all around, Savant somehow managed that round. That was insane on this take. This kill by Hijinks was, I don't know, some zany Hijinks, that's for darn sure. But whatever happened on that C site stays on that C site. I don't think we need to mention that again for the sanity of everyone watching this. Ooh, boy. End of the rope, though, potentially for UYU.
For sure, I mean, I'm at this point, I don't know what sort of adjustments they have to make other than meeting this aggression and hoping that they win those duels, but they're poor. They're trying. Oh, but Darkest already, we're seeing that struggle as he falls. It is not looking pretty. That is Empress online now for Steph, so I would be wary.
Hijinks gets out of that alive too. The A site abandoned. Only 3 players alive for UYU, and they're all towards that C side of the map. One is hot on the heels of the all-around Savants side. That spike already starting to tick away. Cosmic Divide laid down 4 waltz. Unholy sitting in the purple. To try and go through eventually. My Authority will lead with the Owl drone. Spots out one, does get the tag. Unholy with the frag. Staff and Hune trade it back though, and My Authority spotted dancing around the Cosmic Divide, but it's Steph to finish things.